Good morning, everybody, and welcome to my channel. It is Friday and the weekend is here. And before I get started, let me just say that I'm gonna say fuck like a lot of times. So if my grandmother's watching, or if my mom is watching, or any of my friends are gonna be offended by the word fuck, then they're gonna have to be offended by the word fuck, because I don't really give a fuck. So this weekend is a great time to begin to not give a fuck about what other people think about you, and not to give a fuck about anything, really. To give it a try. So it's like a fuck-free weekend, in a sense. No pun intended. Hopefully it's not a fucking free weekend. But anyway, so any children, any students, or anything, or any people are gonna be offended by the word fuck, I have that in all due respect to say it out loud, basically. Because I think the word is so versatile in its way, and basically not giving a fuck means that you don't really care about what other people think about you, and also basically about what you think about yourself. You know, sometimes we're always spending a lot of time giving a fuck about what most people say. I'm so hyper right now because I gotta go to work and I've had a lot of coffee, and right now basically I don't really give a fuck. So the thing is that basically, it is a wonderful, wonderful way to really lighten up, because you don't really give a fuck. And what anyone's thinking about you is really somehow they give some fucks about it, which has nothing to do with them. But I'm here to just say with how I think, you know, there's so many books about this word fuck and giving a fuck, and like how fuck has come into play with, you know, the fuckness of everything, and how, like, it's just like, you know, we're raised basically to give a fuck about what you think about me and what others think about me. And I'm an artist, so I don't really have to give a fuck, basically. But, you know, it's what it is. And when you are challenged, you start to give a fuck. And you start to give a fuck about many, many things. Now, I'm not saying that, well, actually, really I am. I'm really saying that there's no time to waste on giving a fuck. Do you understand what I mean? Because it is just a secret. It is a secret to growing. It is a secret to becoming whatever you think you're gonna fucking become. Because once you have arrived to this thing that you think you have become, you know, there are a lot of people who are gonna give a fuck. And then you're gonna start giving a fuck about that. So when you give a fuck, you know, it's like, in a way, you know, you stop learning, I think. Do you know? Because it's like, when you take a risk, and you're concerned about what you look like, or about how you are going to be perceived, that's giving a fuck. And I think that when you place importance on giving a fuck about what the other people are giving the fucks about the fucks, I think that you're lost. You know what I mean? Maybe right now, I seem to be lost to you when I express about giving a fuck. But the thing is that I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck, basically, sometimes about my hair. Give it a try sometimes when you walk outside, or women who wear makeup, or guys, which is really great, because when guys wear makeup, they go outside and they're like in public, and they don't give a fuck. And when I see that, I think it's quite amazing. And also, I don't give a fuck either, because I'm so happy that they are doing what they do, and enjoying what they do, and expressing themselves. When people express themselves out loud, you know, a lot of people will give a fuck. And then the issue is, are you trying to please their fucks, or are you trying to give yourself the permission to give a fuck? You know, it's interchangeable with everything. And the one thing I just can say is that there is respect towards others, and respect towards yourself, and but at the same time, who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? So this is a really fucking amazing conversation right now. So again, like I said, you know, I'm here, I'm queer, I'm like, you know, happy, not that any of you give a fuck, but I'm happy to say that, you know, I am grateful, I am ecstatic, I am a bit hyper this morning. I'm excited because I'm going to I'll get a tattoo today, and not that you give a fuck about that, because at the end of the day, we're basically we're like giving a fuck about ourselves. And sometimes when we're laying on the couch and we're watching television, or we're reading, or doing these, or doing our hobbies, and we're concerned about doing that and pleasing other people, that it says that you're lazy when you do certain things, then you start giving a fuck. So it's an opportunity to not give a fuck. There are many books written right now about the magic of giving a fuck, or the magic of not giving a fuck. So the question is, to give a fuck or not to give a fuck? So when I was really, really young, I guess my mother gave a fuck, because I used to, when I used to say swear words, and I say them, I used to say them because it was really fun to say them, because we were like not supposed to say them, because we were supposed to give a fuck about that. But, you know, it's like, you know, around my grandmother, I can't say the word fuck, because I used to get my mouth washed out with soap when I was really young. Yes, very quite abusive. Mother used to do that to me anyway, but she gave a fuck. So she gave a fuck about how I was supposed to be perceived, and so I started to learn to be concerned and to give a fuck. So the secret to life and the secret to your own personal success is to not give a fuck. And I guess, you know, turn the other cheek and go away and not give a fuck. So I'm here with you this morning to give you permission, as if you need my permission to give a fuck, but to have a wonderful, wonderful fuck off weekend, and enjoy your fucks, and enjoy, you know, not giving a fuck, and just letting go, and being you. Basically, that's what it's all about. It's about being you, and not giving a fuck, and being more of you, and not giving a fuck. Fuck it. Oh, that's fucking amazing. Fuck, fuck, fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't really give a fuck either. I don't give a fuck what you think. And I don't give a fuck what you think. And I don't give a fuck what you think. So if you think I'm fucking crazy right now, you think I'm fucking crazy. And I don't fucking care. It is so lovely and liberating to not give a fuck. So have a wonderful, wonderful time giving a fuck. And if you fuck, don't give a fuck. I don't know. All this fucking. Anyway, enjoy your fucking weekend. Bye-bye. Ciao. Fuck you.